Hey everyone, Maury Curtis Dunbar here back at Painted Studio. It is a beautiful, chilly fall afternoon. I am in the studio. I've been working all day getting things caught up. As you know, yesterday I was out of the studio. I was out of this part of the studio. I was in our video studio where I work with Miguel, and we create all kinds of fun reels and photos and projects and stuff just for you. That special content that you don't see me working on here in this studio. So today we are going to be working on finishing up our sign from the other day, but let me just get myself, see, I keep forgetting to turn the volume down on my iPad, and then I hear myself an echo. So let me open up that. Let me turn on the comments so I can see if anybody has anything to say. Give it a few seconds to get organized. And I thought I'd share some of the fun stuff that I have been working on the last few days where you haven't seen me. The first thing we did yesterday, or one of the things we did yesterday, is we started playing with some of the new transfers that we got in. And of course, because it's coming up on the holiday season, we played with the holiday transfers. Now this is one of the smaller packs. It comes in sheets with 3 sheets, and you're going to see them as I have used them. So these sheets won't be whole, but here's one sheet, and this one's called Christmas tags, I think. I think that's what they are. Christmas tags. So you can see they're all about labeling and stuff like that. So you can use them on a little box. You can use them on the like a lantern window or something fun like that. This is another one. Now you can see I used the bottom one here. And then this is what's left of another one because I used a lot of it. And we had just one of our little Christmas wooden tag cutouts. We carry these little wooden tags. I did a little wash of set coat matte metallic pearl white, and we transferred some of the images on here. I'm not done with this. I left a little space here so that if I wanted to, I could personalize this with a name. And I think maybe around the edges it might be fun to put a little flocking or get a little bit of maybe some faux holly or something and attach it here. And then of course a big red bow on top would be just cute as can be. So these are some of our transfers, and they're super easy to use, and I'm very pleased with them. These are the newest ones that came in. I'm loving how they work. I'm loving how they show up on things. And of course you can use them on other colors, but I thought, well, looks a little vintage country, so I thought, why not use a little bit of whitewashed kind of wood on there. I thought these were really wonderful. And of course they go over every other color as well. Then let me throw some other things to the side. Yesterday we were also embracing the fact that it is not quite Christmas yet, that we do have Thanksgiving coming up. So we kind of went with a little bit more of a traditional cutout for the fall. We used one of our large acorns. We used our brand new Art Deco fan stencil on it. We used Roberson's liquid metals. We copper leafed the little leaf on here. We did all kinds of stuff. We did a little pattern on the cap. I haven't decided if I want to do a little more, but this is going to hang on my front door. So I need to attach my leaf, and then I drill a hole in here, and I'll probably put something like something kind of natural looking on it to hook it onto my door. But I thought those were cute. And then the final project that we worked on was a different large door porch sign. This one, and we're still shifting a little glitter out of it because I haven't sealed it, but this is Christmas balls. And I love this one. We used our brand new Maddox foil. We used Glitter Stars Blue. Darn, I'm going to have to look that one up because I forgot the name of it. And then we used Aquamarine. We used Zigzag, and then we used Ice Blue, and then on the Ice Blue and on the aquamarine. Let me see if I can get it so you can see it. We use the overlays. We use the baby's breath here. And it reads very, very holographic on camera. It does not read that way in person. And then on the aquamarine one, we used Elsa, but we didn't release it completely because then we let glitter cover the rest of the foil adhesive. But you can see those little snowflakes in here, and it's so cute. So we had a really, really wonderful time with this. This one I need to top coat. We dumped glitter everywhere. It was super fun, super messy. Miguel had never been in the middle of a true glitter fest while videoing before. I warned him he wasn't prepared. He was overwhelmed by glitter. I told him he will be finding glitter on himself for the next three weeks. He didn't believe me until he found the glitter in his hair from cleaning up. All right, now today's thing that we're going to work with. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you here. This is the sign we started the other day that we stained with the Saman water-based wood stain. I did seal it as I said I was going to with Set Coat Clear. So now we're safe to go on this. Now this has a little bow in it, which is going to drive me crazy. But today we're going to paint the truck. We're going to then put some glitter in the letters. I'm going to try to get as much of this done today as possible. The only thing I might not be able to do is put foil on that I had been planning to, but that's okay. That sort of stuff happens all the time. So let me flip the camera down and see where we are and what you see. I'm going to have to move things around a little bit so that I'm painting where you can see me, so just be patient. I want to make sure you can see clearly. Now, I know this is going to be sideways for you, but there's literally no way for me to turn this around and have this facing you because it will smack the wall. Now I'm going to pull up my sleeves. So we're going to start with our truck. And we're going to use Roberson's Florentine Gold. This gold has a little bit of green to it, so I thought it would be kind of fun to contrast here. Normally trucks are painted red, but because we stained this red, I don't want to paint the truck red too. It'll disappear. Now, excuse me for the banging. I got to get the jar open. And all I'm doing is cracking the seal on the lid. That happens sometimes if you get paint. If you look at my jar, I'm a messy painter, so I have a little paint around the lid, and that likes to seal the jar shut. So I just go in here, make sure I loosen things a little bit until I can get it open. And one of these days I'll learn to be a tidier painter, but I'm not sure when that'll happen because I never have been one, and that might be a tall order at this point in my life. So now here is this beautiful, gorgeous Roberson's color. You can see there's just a hint of green in this gold, but it's very bright, very, very metallic, and I think it'll look really pretty on here. So I'm going to paint the body with the Roberson's. I'll paint the fender with a different color. I'm going to find my dark green, which is over on a shelf. We're going to paint the tree. Look how beautiful this is. Ugh. This I love. Oh, this is so pretty on here. Now, of course, I'm using one of our 250 milliliter jars. It's a little over a cup of paint, a little over 8 ounces. We do sell it in the smaller jars as well, the 1 ounce or 30 milliliter jars, so that you don't have to buy such a big container for a small project. I love this product. I have to tell you, it makes me so happy to work with it. I'm just going to spread it. The coverage is really, really good. because I'm putting this on raw wood, I did not seal this whole thing with Set Coat Clear. If I'd really thought about it, I probably would have at the same time I was sealing this up. But, oh well, that's not how my brain worked. I'm putting this right over raw wood. But if I'd thought about it, I probably should have sealed this up, and I got a little smooch right in there. Because I sealed it with Set Coat Clear, that cleaned off really well. Because I did seal in here. And there we go. Now this might need a second coat. We're going to give it a second or two to dry once I'm done. And then I'll come back because this also dries very nicely. It dries down nice and tight. If you spread it smoothly, it will dry nice and smooth, levels out. It does not do that thing that many other acrylic metallic paints do. It doesn't have that weird gummy feeling to it. I have been like overshooting what I'm painting a lot lately. I must be very tired. Doing some strange stuff. Okay, let's come in here. Clean that edge right there against the tree. Go right around. Very pleased with this product every time I use it, and I'm just more and more impressed with it, especially because I tend to do dumb things, like I didn't seal the wood up. So this could have gone on here very badly. Now, it's one coat. Normally one coat would be enough, but again, because I didn't seal my wood up, I might come back in here with a second coat just to even everything out. That's fine. That's doable. So I'm going to grab a piece of paper towel from next to me here, if I can do it without throwing it across the room. I always like to have a little pad of paper towel or something along those lines next to me. It makes things a little easier. All right, I'm going to grab some Faux Effects Set Coat in black. Again, got to crack that open a little bit, because this one has been running between the video studio and the office studio. It's amazing how much travel time things can get. Okay, get the crud off the lid. I'm going to take the lid. We're going to paint these wheels black. Set Coat, I love. Set Coat is a fantastic interior, exterior paint. You can use it for projects, you can use it for furniture, you can use it on walls, you can use it on floors. This is, Faux Effects is a decorative, if you're not familiar with it, it's a decorative painting product line. It's been around for about 35 years. It's designed for you to get the absolute best results out of your decorative finishing projects. I've used it as my go-to base paint for damn near everything for, oh, I want to say close to 20 years. It levels and dries down tight like an oil paint, so that if you have to glaze over it, the glaze spreads really beautifully. It's super high bonding, so it sticks to things that regular paint doesn't love. Now, that doesn't mean you don't have to do prep work, but this is a great paint for cabinetry. And before somebody asks, yes, it does need to be sealed, because every paint, all your cabinetry, if you're doing cabinets, should be sealed. just because cabinets get a lot of abuse and they need to be cleaned in ways that other things don't. Okay, so we've got our tires painted here. Make sure I've got this because I'm looking at this. I got to look at the camera and see if I'm missing something, and I can see on camera that I'm missing a spot right in here. And let's hope that got it. All right. Rinse that brush out. Now I think I'm probably, it's still a little damp, I might wait a little bit. We're going to use a silver color on the hubcaps. So let me pull out, and I could use Set Coat Silver, but why not use Roberson's Old Silver? I think that would be really pretty on here. Get my brush out of here, make sure it's all the black paint's out. And again, we're going to go in with a smaller brush. Paint those hubcaps. This beautiful old silver color. Oh, so pretty. So as you can tell, I use Roberson's and Set Coat both on all kinds of surfaces. I think it is a fantastic, they're both fantastic products. They're very versatile. And if I can paint furniture with these products, why can't I paint a porch sign with them? Both are exterior rated. So that they can handle being outside. Now, I will tell you the Saman water-based stain is not exterior rated. So I'm going to have to deal with the fact that this would fade in the sunlight. And I will probably need a top coat over this that's UV protectant to keep it lasting. You can get all of the Faux Effects top coats with UV protectant added, but it is a special order. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. I will make sure you get it. I don't know why I'm putting my brush away because I'm going to do the bumper. I'm not going to do what I thought I was going to do with the bumper. I'm going to have do something a little more fun with the bumper. Now this is going to be pretty bright. We're going to use our Roberson's Twinkle paint. Now Twinkle looks white, but it catches light in such a manner that the white is very gold. Now, I'm trying to decide if I want to put another color under this or not, but I think we're going to be okay. Again, whoops, I smooched some black paint into it. I think this will just kind of give a fun, super twinkly, to use the name, effect. Now it doesn't look like much when I'm brushing it on, but as it dries, it alternates between white twinkle and a very bright gold twinkle. I want to say it's almost like glitter paint, but it's not quite that, it's not quite glittery in texture, but the sparkle in it is pretty damn intense. And it's not smooth like a metallic. And actually, you know, the Florentine has what I would call a little bit of visual texture to it. It looks like there's like heavy mica and stuff in it. You can almost see it as opposed to being a smooth metallic. But I think these are perfect. I mean, if there's ever a time to use things that are sparkly, twinkly, and really shiny, this is the time of year. Let's enjoy that. We have lots of other projects coming soon for you. I have a request from a customer to show how to turn texture products like texture medium and Venetian gem and stuff like that and apply it to a tray and make a charcuterie tray out of that. So we're going to be doing that in the next day or so, but I'm finishing up one project before I start another. I'm trying not to have 16 half-finished projects floating around the studio. Okay, let's get that smoothed out. Now this should dry enough before we're finished with the live here for you to be able to catch just how sparkly that is. And I think this is going to look really fun. Now, what I'm also going to do is once this is dry enough, and I'm not sure I'm going to be able to do it in the live today just because this paint is so fresh, but I'm going to take foil adhesive and we're going to sprinkle black glitter on the wheels. I might even sprinkle a little green glitter on the trees. So we're going to make this a fun one. Now, the only thing that's going to be very hard is it's hard to see where it says happy holiday right in here. No, I got paint on my finger. Huh. Good thing I put Set Coat Clear on there, or that would be a part of it. The happy that was kind of burned in here, you can see on the underlining of it here, but it is not easy to see. So I may have to do that, the HAPPY part, off camera with a whole lot of lights focused right down here, and get that lettering in here because it's not easy to see, I gotta tell you. And let's see if I can get that off there. All right, let's put that in here. Let's come back to the gold. I'm gonna put a quick second coat of the Florentine gold on here. It's like I said, I think I want 2 coats of it on this, and this is dry enough for me to quickly recoat. And you see it just gives a little smoother finish to the gold. Still beautiful, still sparkly, just a little smoother. Evens it out a little bit because again, working on bare wood. I can't believe Halloween's already over. We're already working on holiday stuff. Every year when I can, I try to take my son. He's an interesting kid. He loves doing stuff like going to Christmas tea at the Drake, even though he's 26, because he loves sitting there listening to the Christmas carols being played and thinking about all of our family Christmases in the past, and he just loves spending the afternoon doing that. Not every 26-year-old young man would be up for that, but he actually asks for that every year to see if we can do that. So it's just, sometimes there's a friend involved, but often it's just the 2 of us, and we just go and have the nicest afternoon together, try to get down to the Kindle Mart down in the Loop first, but sometimes that is just crazy crowded. Last year we skipped it. This year we might try to do it. And I love the fact that he is so into, our traditions, even as a young adult, that he wants to do them and asks to do them and, really wants to make that a part of his life. All right, I should have grabbed it before I came over, but I have to go grab a little bit of green here. So give me just a sec. You know, the thing is, when you're in a new space, you sometimes can't find things easily, and that's me today. Hey, Sandy, nice to see you here. And give me just a second here. Who else is watching with us? We're on white. And I think that says Erica, Eric, thank you for coming in. So what I was saying is that I'm still finding things. Like I had help putting things away, and then I have to refine them. And it's always a little bit of a challenge. So we're going to use a little set coat green for the tree. This is a color that is, at least at this point, not available from Faux Effects. I wish it was. I wish I could tell you I could get it for you. I'm hoping that it comes back into their repertoire, because they had to discontinue certain colors over the last few years due to availability of pigment. And unfortunately, green was one of them. So this is my precious jar of green. I guard it with my life. As you can see, I keep plastic down at the to the surface of it so it doesn't go bad. And it's a perfect green for a Christmas tree. This is going to be good. Oh, I love how this is coming out. I'm so happy. And it doesn't look fancy yet. We're going to get there. We're going to jazz this up. We're going to do a few more things on our live to get this to the, oh my gosh, that's really a sparkly stage. And then I'll finish this up, and there will be pictures of the fully completed project. But sometimes you have to wait for things to dry, otherwise it's a bad idea. So let's get here. Oops. Got a little green streak on there. Well, I'll make that go away. I don't struggle with my edges so much, but this is one of those days where I feel like I just can't hit it quite right. We all have those days. Okay, so my tree is green, and we have lots and lots of gold and beautiful metal on there. And let's put all of those paints to the side carefully so I don't spill them, because we all know I can spill a lot of stuff. You've seen me do it. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to bring this all the way down to this end. Why are we going to do that? Because we're going to take our Artsyville foil adhesive and we're going to do another fun thing. All right, let me get myself in my chair because this is going to take a minute. Now, we have some soft gold glitter from Artsyville as well. And this is a beautiful color. I love this soft gold. We're going to work with that. We're going to work with Artsyville foil adhesive, and we're going to jazz up these letters so they really pop. Now, of course, I can always paint inside the letters. I can do that kind of thing too if I want to. That's not what I want to do. I want to embrace that outline that's there. Oh gosh. Foil adhesive doesn't want to open today either. Nothing wants to be simple for me. What the heck? And I used press and seal on the top of it, and it worked so well that now I can't get the press and seal off. Oh, actually came off today. Didn't want to come off yesterday. Yeah, that's going to be a fresh piece, because that's not recyclable the way it is. And I'm telling you, this is one of my studio jars. You know, I could take a gallon for the studio and pour it off into smaller jars so that it stays fresh. I should have put press and seal over it right away instead of letting the edge get gummy. So take a word to the wise from me. Don't do what I did. All right, so I'm going to take my foil adhesive and I'm going to go all through the outline of each letter. And this is a little bit coarse. You know, this is from Michaels. They don't always use the greatest tools. Their wood can be this is like a thin grade plywood. So once they get through this nice finished part, this area, all of that is coarse. And I sanded this and I just can't get it any better than it is without getting another tool in there to smooth it. That beyond sandpaper and an emery stick. So we're going to embrace the fact that it's coarse and make it disappear. You want to make sure you've got glue in all of the openings. You don't want to miss any of it. And I say glue right now because that's how we're using it, as glue. We're not letting this dry up to use like we normally do with foil adhesive. We are going to take the glitter and we're going to take one of these funny little spoons. These are sort of saucing decorative spoons that I get on Amazon, and they have a little tiny pour spout in them, if you can see there. And I use them to apply things like glitter into grooves. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I do find this is the easiest way. Some kind of tool like this is the easiest way to get glitter into small spaces. And as you can see, I'm not perfect with this. I'm just using it to kind of control it. And sometimes I'm not very controlled. Let's be honest here. But the reason I'm doing this while the adhesive is still wet is that I have found if you do it this way and then tap down the glitter, you get more of it adhered. It embeds into the liquid, grabs more of it, and you get a better glitter result. So I'm going to take this now and then I'm going to go with my finger and kind of tap all this extra glitter around, but tapping it down into the opening. Like I said, this is not perfect, but this will not stay this wide and this messy. We're going to do all the letters and then we're going to do a glitter dump. And yes, that's what poor Miguel experienced yesterday because I did it in all the cutouts and the ornament porch sign. And that poor kid was like, oh my God, that's a lot of glitter. He'd never done a glitter dump with me before, and I felt badly for him. It's a lot. And take your time with this. There is no reason to hurry. Even if you've got company coming, you don't do this on the day the company arrives. Your house will be filled with glitter. So unless you're planning to do this as a group activity, and by the way, signs and stuff like this, and the cutouts like I showed you before, that is a fun Thanksgiving afternoon after you've eaten or day after Thanksgiving activity with your family. I mean, a holiday crafting party where everybody sits around with, you know, some cider or some cocoa or some wine, depending on your age group, and some music on in the background, and everybody makes stuff together. I know that sounds very, very Hallmark, but I've actually done it with my family, and it's fun. because everybody's a little silly. They're very relaxed. They're having a good time. My mother-in-law, I've been very fortunate to have a couple mother-in-laws. My first marriage, my mother-in-law Ruth was just a wonderful, loving woman, great grandmother to my son. And then when I remarried, my husband, his parents were split and remarried. So his dad's wife, Mary, just loved having family over for the holidays, and then we do stuff like fondue the Friday after Thanksgiving and all kinds of events. She had something like 8 Christmas trees, and every year that we were all together, I was assigned a Christmas tree to do. Usually I got the fairy tree, which always made me happy to do. A couple of years I got a couple trees to do. But we did spend the day doing things like cards or crafts or galleries. That Friday after thing, instead of going for Black Friday stuff, we did family stuff. And it was always so much fun. And one of my favorite memories of my mother-in-law is actually very funny. We did fondue, and it was in a pot, and it was all cooked, and everything's ready to go. And Mary, bless her heart, grabbed the fondue pot off the stove and walked into the dining room with it, but she dropped her arm to the side and was swinging it like it was a pocketbook, and she threw hot cheese everywhere, on the rugs, on the door frames, on the kitchen walls. And we're all going, Mary, the cheese. And thank God she really was blessed with a sense of humor. Instead of getting upset, she nearly fell into the hot cheese. She was laughing so hard. And that was Mary. And I miss her every day. We don't have her. She's not with us anymore. But she was one of the funniest and loveliest people. And just always had fun doing things with family. She had 4 daughters, had 4 daughters of her own. And we had so much fun with all of them. I mean, there was always something going on. Mary always had an idea. Really just so much fun to be around. And of course, this is the time of year when you think of family and stuff. So I'm very lucky to have these happy memories of people who are no longer with us. I'm very grateful for them every day. And Mary would have loved a porch sign like this. This would have been right up her alley. She was a Christmas babe. And when we spent Christmases with them, because they didn't live close by, so we'd alternate Christmases. And when we spent Christmases together, she had a box of Christmas jewelry. And it didn't matter whether it went with your outfit or not. If you didn't have a piece of Christmas jewelry on, you had to put on a piece of Christmas jewelry out of the box. She said, I don't care if you like it or not. Everybody wears Christmas jewelry. And she was just funny with it. She was never nasty with it. She was always just fun. So, it was she was just a neat person. Okay, some of this time I'm over pouring clearly. This is going to be super fun. I really like how this is going to come out. How do I know how it's going to come out? Well, because I did it with different stuff yesterday. I did it with the Christmas ball sign that's behind me that I just showed you all yesterday in the video studio. So I know this is going to come out just super cute. As messy as it looks now. Okay, I'm just going to shift this down a little bit. Hi, Lynn. Thank you for coming in. I know watching this isn't always the most exciting thing in the world, but I appreciate everybody who pops in and spends some time with us. And let's move this to the center a little bit. A, so that you can see what I'm doing, and B, so I can reach it. So again, we're just going to keep doing this. It's the same process all the way through. And yes, we do have another 4.5 letters to go. I can't make the word holidays have fewer letters. Okay, let's do this. You know, sometimes the projects that we do on lives have lots and lots of active and moving parts. Sometimes they just take a while. Now, of course, excuse me, probably inhaled some glitter. As we go along, like one customer asked me how to do something and asked me to do a live on it. If you have something that you want to see me do a live on, let me know. Even if I can't get to it right away, it goes on our list. It goes in what I call my mental hopper, so that I'm thinking about how to do this on a live. I'm always happy to share stuff. Without your suggestions, you leave me to my own devices, which, you know, that's not always a good thing, as my mother used to say. Okay, let's get some of the glitter over here. You all, I'm sure, have funny holiday stories, just like everybody else. Most people have at least one truly funny moment in holiday stories. So again, another one of my favorite ones goes back to my mother-in-law, Mary. I'm sorry, somebody's texting me and I don't need to hear that. I thought I turned off those notifications. Clearly I didn't. So we used to do a white elephant swap or a Yankee swap or whatever it is you want to call it, when, you know, everybody brings a gift for, you know, $10 or under, wrap it around, and then you know, do the gift trade and all of that. And my mother-in-laws were notoriously funny, because my father-in-law would often take, and it was never the same. He would take, some years he would put a very expensive gift card, or I shouldn't say very expensive, but a pricey gift card, and put it in a box that was in a box with a brick. So you never knew which one was the quote unquote good gift or the big gift. Some years he'd put something else and it would be in a feather light box, in a little tiny box. You never knew what you're going to. So I had so much fun doing this that they were going to start skipping it. And I'm like, no, don't skip it, because I'd never had that growing up. And the year that we did it with the brick, with the gift card, was also the year of onion goggles. Somebody went to CVS, Walmart, Target, whatever, and spent their $10 on a pair of onion goggles. The kind of, if you don't know what onion goggles are, they're goggles that you wear for cutting onions. And so, you know, you could spend your $10 on something really, really pretty that everybody wanted to keep, or you could spend it on something really, really awful that everybody tried to give away, or you could spend it on something really funny. And the onion goggles ended up being swapped in a battle around the family. And specifically the kids all the kids, for some reason, wanted the onion goggles. And it was the funniest thing until they said, well, we make all the kids do the onion shopping, so of course they all want to. And I realized I do the same thing. I make my son chop onions, and he used to sit down in our dining room with swim goggles on while he chopped onions. Oh my God. But the battle for the onion goggles was one of my favorite White Elephant Yankee swap moments. It was just glorious. We really did have a lot of fun. I'm very fortunate to have had those in-laws. Now my other mother-in-law, which is my husband's mother, remarried as well, and their holidays were just a little different, and because they're different family dynamics. So we didn't usually go to Chip's mother's house for Christmas. We had them over, and Chip's mother was married to a wonderful gentleman named Pierre. Pierre was very academic, very, very brilliant, had French accent, heavily French accent, and he mumbled. And Pierre and my dog Hardware both looked a little bit alike, a little bit shaggy, and their happy thing was to sit in the corner with Pierre having Hardware on their lap and just hang out together and eat hors d'oeuvres, have a nice glass of red wine, and Pierre would tell these very sort of dry jokes in a very heavy French accent with a mumble. And for a long time, I realized I might have been the only one getting the jokes, because my first father-in-law was from New Hampshire and had a very thick New Hampshire accent and mumbled. And I'd spent years learning to listen to somebody with mumbles to understand what they were saying. And so Pierre and I would sit around and he'd tell these rather esoteric, dry jokes, very punny kind of literary jokes that nobody else understood because they couldn't understand Pierre. And we always had so much fun. I'm very blessed. Unfortunately, my son's grandparents, my ex's parents, died when my son was very small. But we had wonderful Christmases there too. I mean, I'm and Thanksgivings as well. I'm so fortunate to have had so many kind people in my family. Growing up, my holidays were, my mother we did a very formal Thanksgiving dinner, and it could be anywhere from just the four of us and my one set of grandparents to 15 people or 20 people. And my mother did throw a good party, so there was always great drinks and good food and a lot of funny conversations, but it was a little more on the formal side. Which, if anybody knows me, that's how I know what all those silver service pieces are for. And then we threw a Christmas Eve party. We didn't throw a Christmas Day party. We threw a Christmas Eve gathering. And so all my cousins, my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents, the neighbors, the family, friends, and there'd be 60, 70 people at our house on Christmas Eve. But everybody had to be out by 11 o'clock. Why is that? Well, most of the kids were singing in either the choir or were bell ringers in one of the local churches or something along those lines. That included my sister and me. And my dad was auxiliary police, so he had to be down directing traffic for the midnight church service. So it was a party and a half, and then you got everybody out of the house early enough so that you could get some sleep. Or in my parents' case, when we were young, build the Christmas toys, anything that had to be built and assembled got done. But Christmas party was always a really good time. always just so much fun. Tons of people. I mean, went from when I was, a very small child to until my dad passed away when I was in college. So we always had just this great time. And then, go spend Christmas Day visiting family and friends, and it was much mellower, and my mother didn't cook that day. We always went to her mother's for dinner that night after going and visiting all the family and friends. I mean, I'm very lucky I have those happy memories. Now, of course, when I was a kid, visiting all those friends was like, really? I just want to stay home and play with my toys. But, as I got older and started appreciating, it was a lot of fun. Socializing and dressing up in your new Christmas outfits and fluttering around to different people's houses. And I think we would, like Christmas Day, we'd hit like 3 or 4 different houses before going to my grandmother's. It's always a lot of fun. Always. I remember once as a kid, we used to go to some friend's house, the Papes, and Mrs. Pape wore a little little hairpiece, to fill. She had thin hair, so she always had this little hairpiece that she wore for parties and stuff. And it sat on a wig dummy in her bedroom. And I don't know what possessed me. I couldn't have been more than 10. But it was there, and the hairbrush was nearby, and I just spent the entire party brushing this wig piece that I probably wasn't supposed to brush out because she probably had it all teased up to fit her head. And I just remember, I hadn't thought of it. I'm babbling about stuff, so I hadn't thought about it in years. So that's a funny moment that I like to remember. Plus, it's telling stories while I'm glittering. So if you don't like silly stories, I guess you don't. I'm not going to work for you here. Not today, anyway. I'm feeling very reminiscent today, just because we're getting into the holidays and we're a little bit smaller group these days because of the people who are no longer with us. So I like to think happy thoughts about all the funny things we did together. Look at all this. It's so pretty. Nice. There we go. We got all the letters done. I'm just going to take it and smoosh it in here a little bit. Okay, all the letters are done. So then the only thing I really have left to do is I'm going to try to shove this down just a little further. We're going to do the wheels on the truck. Because yes, I have black glitter. And I always think something like truck wheels are an unexpected little spot of glitter. But, we're not that far from Halloween, so having black glitter, a lot of people might have some black glitter left over from Halloween. Again, these signs, they come from Michael's with the coupons, and then you know, multiple discounts. They're really very inexpensive. I think this was something like $12.95 or $13.95, and then we're just using fun stuff to finish it up. Okay, so I'm going to take my little glitter spoon and we're going to pour some glitter. A lot messier. We're going to get that glitter in here and on those wheels. Okay. And we're going to come in here. Pat that one. And the one place we need to put a little glitter, I think, is on the tree because it's dead, flat, kind of dull. So we're going to take a little silver glitter because it's the one color I have sitting next to me that I haven't used yet. Why not? Let's have a little fun with this. So let's just kind of do a few little zigzaggy shapes just to throw a little glitter on it, almost like it's snow. Oops, I'll put that. Don't want to brush the wrong place. Just a little bit on this here too, this side here too, because it'll look pretty. Okay, that's done. I'm going to put that brush in there. Close that black glitter up before I do something bad. Whack off the brush. Okay, I know there are a couple other people on here, but because I'm reading it on the white surface, it's a little hard for me to say hi to whoever's here. So if I'm missing you, Kim and Christine, thanks for popping in. Okay, we're down to the last little bit on here. And then we're going to do the glitter dump. And I'll slide back so you can see how it came out. Okay, let's just put the glitter on here. I haven't been glitter crazed in a while, so I think it's the perfect season for me to get my glitter mood back. Okay, let's just kind of tap some glitter around, tap, tap, tap. Don't want to tap it too much here because it's not, I kind of made such random shapes that if I smush it, I could actually change the shape of what I painted, and I might have even done that, like right in here. Let me just take a little glitter, get that spot. Okay, now, I don't know if I can zoom out on this at all. Let's open that up. It just opens a little wider. I want to close everything up, especially the foil adhesive, so we don't get a cloud of glitter in my foil adhesive. I'll seal that again properly later. Okay. Let's move the camera back so you can see what's going to happen. Okay, this is as wide an angle as I can get it for you right now. And what we do is we take the whole sign and go like that. And that's a glitter dump. You can see all of that glitter on there. And look how cute the sign is right now. Yes, there is a little glitter still caught up here, but I'm going to wait until all of it's completely dry and come back in with a little fluffy brush and knock it loose. because if I do it right now on the areas that have a little bit of fresh paint that's dry to the touch, but if I try to go in it now, I'll probably grind the glitter into the paint instead of knocking it free. But look how cute this is. All right, just give it another whack. I'm going to pull the camera up. Whew, I shifted a different angle. It shifted some more. All right. Swing me up. Sorry about my hand in front of the camera. So here is, oh, come on. Let me grab it here. Here is our big holiday door sign, porch sign. You can see how cute it is with the truck and the glitter. And we will get this spot right here that says happy. But as I explained earlier, I really need to sit down with every light I have on it and get the lettering showing out, because the staining hit it a little bit, and that's okay. I'm not particularly concerned about that. So tomorrow, what I will do with this, what I'll do is, after I've cleaned up all the glitter in front of me, I will dust all the glitter off. I will then find that lettering, and then I'm going to seal it up with, I have a little bit of AquaGuard with a UV protectant added to it. That's a Faux Effects product. Again, the Faux Effects top coats with UV protectant in it, you must order them as a special order. I can't order them and keep them here in stock. It is a very specific special order. But I happen to have some here, so I will use that. Will be fine and dandy, and that will help keep the red stain from fading, because the red stain is not exterior rated. It may fade and change color over time. So I want to keep this lasting as long as possible. I appreciate all of you popping in today. I appreciate all of you sitting here and watching me glitter and letting me reminisce about my family events and the goofiness that we do in our family. I am looking forward to more time with you this coming holiday season. We got a lot of projects planned. And again, if you have something that you're trying to figure out how to do, if I have the stuff here, I will do it on a live with you. And just ask me, send me a message. If you don't want to post it in the comments, post it in the comments if you're fine with doing it there. I'm always open to ideas. So thank you so much, everybody, for giving me some of your time this afternoon. Stay warm. Go enjoy your family. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.